Hello, Lynn.
I'm Jasmine.
Hi, Jasmine. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So we're just going to sit down here and talk for a few minutes.
Okay.
First, I'd like to just say that even though I'm a learner and I can't give you a form of legal confidentiality, you can trust that I will, whatever is said in this meeting will stay between me and my teachers.
All right.
Okay. So I read in your intake form that you are having concerns with your marriage.
Yes.
Would you like to talk about that?
Yes, I would.
All right. So what exactly seems to be bothering you?
Well, for a while now, my husband has had a girlfriend, and I'm concerned with, of course, my own well-being, but also the well-being of my children, and the effects that it will have on their view of relationships. I'm not really sure where to go with this. We've talked about seeing a marriage counselor together. We've talked about having separate counseling.
Right. So
Yeah.
you're
I'm just kind of floundering. I don't know which way to go to kind of either improve this or to put some closure to it.
So you're worried about the effect that it'll have on your children?
Yes, definitely.
What kind of effects do you think it will have on them?
Well, how they view relationships, how they view their spouses, how it will affect their children, those sorts of things.
So, what do you consider to be the most negative aspect of that?
The untruthfulness. I think if you're in a relationship, if you're in a family, you need truthfulness to make it work.
Definitely, definitely. So, what do you anticipate as being the biggest problem?
Well, finding some answer, finding a way that we're going to go, because it can't just be both ways, you know.
So, could we look at your relationship in more detail?
All right.
How is your relationship with your family other than that?
Excellent. Our relationship is good.
That's good. When do you think this started?
It's been going on for a few years now.
And so, how did you decide to come to a counseling session?
I want help in what direction to take on whether we can make this work, or whether we need to end our marriage, and how I will be able to help my family to deal with this in a positive way so that it doesn't affect their view of relationships. And also I have a concern for the other woman's family. How are they feeling?
Yes, that would be a concern. So, what would you like to happen? What would be your ideal solution?
Well, I would like our marriage to continue, minus the girlfriend. But if he is not happy in that, then it's not really a marriage.
Yeah, yes. So I'm hearing that you care, you're a very caring person, and that you care a lot about your children and your family. And it's commendable that you're trying to improve your relationships. So, let's look at the positives and the negatives of staying together. So what do you think some of the positives of staying together would be?
Well, the love that we've had for each other, the family that we have together, and the family that we'll have in the future with grandchildren and spouses for our children. I think those are the positives of our relationship.
Yes. Would you consider any more positives? let's move on. What would be the negatives of staying together?
Well, if we're not happy, if we're all not happy, and a third party just doesn't fit into our marriage, you know, and if he's not happy in our marriage, then he should move on.
Yeah. Yes.
And if he is happy and he sees something to hang on to, then we should try and work on that, I guess.
So what ways would you consider to work on it?
Well, I think counseling would definitely be in order. When we've spoken about this in the past, he loves his family, he loves me, he expresses that. He loves our marriage. It's something he needs to see someone about and maybe work it out, like work out the need to have another person in his life. You know, and I think if we talk to someone as a couple, maybe we can work that out too, like help to work that out.
All right. Let's look at the positives and negatives of separating or divorcing. What do you think would be some positives to
Divorcing?
Yes.
Taking the confusion out of everyone's life. I think if you have confusion in your life, you can't really move forward or have positive relationships. I don't want our children looking at this as a positive thing in a relationship. I don't want grandchildren saying, "Oh, Grandpa's girlfriend," or you know, things like that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So if it's going to continue on, I think separating or divorce would be an option because of those reasons.
All right, now what would be some negatives of separating or divorcing, do you think?
It would be a loss to all of us. It would be like a death to all of us. You know, there's been a lot of love in our family, and there is a lot of love in our family. And I think definitely that would be the worst of the two scenarios.
So you think it would be hard to handle?
Yes. For
What?
all of us, it would
Yeah.
be hard to handle.
So have you talked about this with your children?
Not very openly. Kind of, you know, a little, you know, but not really openly. We haven't sat down, discussed it, all of us as a family. It's coming to that, though. Because they're aware of the situation. And their father knows, too, that they need to have some clarity on what's going on for our family.
And what has your children's reaction been so far with what you've told them?
Well, they're not happy about it. They want things to be the way they were. But there's, you know, it's different now.
Yes. And so when you've talked about this with your husband in the past, what has the conversation been like?
Well, it's been fairly calm considering the circumstance. We both know there's an issue with this. He also knows there's an issue with this. It's just figuring out why he can't be without that. That's the crossroad we're at right now. I really don't know how to answer that. I guess that's why I'm coming to see you.
Yes. So, since our time is almost done, do you think that the session went good?
Yes, I do. I feel that counseling is the way for us to move forward from this, one way or the other.
And if you could change anything about the session, what would you change about it?
Well, I think maybe I want a quick fix.